The real estate world is changing. Opportunity is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the very best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs, overcoming our fears, transforming ourselves so we can transform our business. This is Investor Creator.
I'm the purchasing manager here at Fair Offer Cash Now.
Good morning, Tyler.
Morning.
I'm James, and I bought a lot of houses for Brad, and I disposition some of the owner finance houses.
We had a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Every day's a challenge. So we're going to start by, going through a few calls, and I have one in particular that I wanted to talk about. It's actually pretty new. It happened this week. So I'll start with we'll give you a little recap on it. She's a character, and her voice is a little different. So you'll have to have a little patience to listen to it. But, I'll try not to put you through the whole thing, and I'll pause it and fast forward it. But the gist of the conversation is she really never told me exactly why she's behind and she's getting foreclosed on. But she is facing the foreclosure. Now, we don't have the auction date. It's not that far along. As a matter of fact, her first court date is coming up, but I made her think that was going to be like the auction date. So you made her think that it's really important to get it out of there. But,
sure.
She's got 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1993 mobile home with 1,120 square feet on a little bit over an acre. So she's got fenced in, got a little barn for horses. I mean, it sounds like a decent place. She's got a new HVAC, a new roof. You'll find all that out. But the funny thing about her is, she starts out, wanting a lot of money, and then she ends up coming down to, we work some good terms out on it. So let's listen to her for a minute and see how it goes.
Yeah, should be good.
Okay, well, it says 1 acre on the plat, and it's got a minus and plus. The pasture alone is more than 1 acre, but it's heirs. Like, I got 2 heirs around me, the Johnsons and Edens. It's farmland. They got cornfields, and it's grandfather's in. It's always going to be farmland. It it's got a little bit in the back to where the old house is. So it's more than 1 acre, but you'll always pay taxes just for 1 acre.
Wait, what? You only pay taxes for 1 acre?
Yeah, it's over an acre, but you're only going to pay taxes for 1 acre. So that took her, 6 minutes to tell me that, or 3 minutes.
I wonder how much she came to that conclusion, but okay.
Yes. It used to be all one person's land, and they got divided out. And they sold her her part, so that's how she got a little bit over there.
A 3-bedroom, 2-bath, a little over, I think, a little under like 1,200 square feet. I put a brand new central heat and air, 3-ton, brand new roof. It's got a fenced-in front yard, a private driveway, a fenced-in pasture, and a fenced-in backyard. And it's perfect for somebody who has horses or maybe want to build another house. It's close to the schools. You got tower number 3, literally right next door to you. It's right off of 52 and 35. And one end is Highway 52, and the other end of the road is Highway 35. So where the house is, it's like I'm right on the line between St. Stephen and Russellville. I don't know why it comes up as Cross, because I'm nowhere near Cross. Cross is like, you got to go to St. Stephen's, and then you go to Cross, and then it's Jamestown. Let's see. The schools are I'm real close to the schools.
So sometimes you ask that question, tell me a little bit about your property and what you got going on with it.
Right.
Sometimes you have these people that sit there, what do you want? What do you want to know? And they only give you the basics. But then you got people like her. If she's
just continue on for 20 minutes.
That's why I'm just sitting there listening, going, okay, maybe she'll just answer all my questions without me having to answer.
Right.
So here in a minute, you'll hear me ask the second question, but it takes a second.
I'm 4 miles. You go 4 miles more, and you'll be in St. Stephen's. And 4 miles back is Bono. So it's right in the middle. And if you go to the left, you're in Russellville. There's cornfields on both sides. The people around here, the heirs around here, it took us 10 years to get the road paved. There's on their deeds, it's got 50 names on each one. So they haven't been paying taxes. That's how they avoid taxes, because they don't know who to send the taxes to. And they don't.
So she calls her neighbors around her heirs, and I'm not sure why they're heirs, what that means to her. But so it's a family that owns it, and it's not just in one person's name. There's like 15 different people that are on this deed. And so she says that's how they avoid paying taxes, because there's so many people on the deed, the county doesn't know who to go after for the taxes.
I guess that's a new strategy. Maybe we should try that.
Well, she couldn't get the last stuff still figured out on it.
They won't. They wouldn't recognize the property. So had to go. The state comes and pays you for a little piece of your land to make the road. Well, they didn't get paid because they didn't want to pay the back taxes. They have never paid taxes. What I think was like a member from their family and a member from that family got together and got married, and they gave them this little piece of property. So something happened, and they built the house, and something happened, and they didn't want to pay the house payments, because they weren't together, and I think they burnt the house. So, and I think that's how they lost the property. But
the house still there?
Well, the mobile home is bricked in, and it's sitting on top of it. It's a foundation.
All right, hold on.
All right,
hold on.
so we got like the Hatfields and McCoys, okay, except for the Johnsons and the Sudmesses. I don't know. And so what happened is a member of each of the family, a son from one and a daughter from the other, got married, okay, and then they lived in this house. Well, and this is the house where she lives in. And well, they got not married, and they ended up burning the house down.
Oh my gosh!
So she got the property. She just put a mobile home on top of the burnt house, so the septic was already there, things like that.
Okay, so they wiped the house out, but left the foundation. Right. I guess.
Yeah. So when she first told me, I thought there was going to be like an old house in the back. So I asked her, are the remnants of the house back there still? Oh no, we took care of that. We just put the trailer on top of the house.
Wow. Okay.
The foundation, the concrete foundation.
Concrete foundation.
Yeah. So the mobile home is bricked in, so it's a modular home. And it's all sitting on top of the foundation from that home. It was like it was a garage. So
is it brick all the way around?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it looks like a single family.
Yep.
And that pasture alone is more than 1 acre, and not include the private driveway and the front yard and the backyard, and it goes like if you go to the big building and you walk straight to the back. You'll see an old house foundation. It's like the roof fell down. It's like no concrete. It's like an old house. And you can see an irrigation hose. They didn't even have running water. That's where the property ends back there. So, yes, that's about it. And it's about to be in foreclosing. So I'm like $6,400 behind. And
so just to be clear on this too, her motivation on her web form, she said she wanted to sell it as soon as possible and it needed repairs. Not a word was mentioned about foreclosure. So you really can't go by that. You got to wait until you talk.
You really didn't have to ask any questions. She literally just came out and told you.
Well, I didn't have a question to ask about that. And
what? How much am I behind? Oh, well, she already told you. You didn't have to ask that.
Yeah.
Told you the motivation.
The place is worth at least $160.
Okay.
And it's like you got horses and your farm animals all down this road. So, and like I said, it's grandfathered in. It'll never be, city. It's always going to be like country farmland because you got cornfields on both sides of you. So you don't have no houses on the right side. You got a little trailer on the left side and a cornfield and one across the street, and another house is like on the other side of that, but on the right side it's that big old cornfield. So you won't see another house until you get around 2 curves.
So funny how some people act like we're their neighbor and like we know the area,
So that was a question about repairs. So how far are we into this call now? I mean, I can't really tell by looking at this, but we're almost halfway through the 16-minute call.
Right.
Just got to the second question. Okay, so
the porch is probably going to need a little TLC.
So I'm picturing the porch got a few holes in it. It's about to fall in.
TLC, yeah.
The board gets wet and warped up. I put spray paint on it to keep it from. Yeah, so they're probably going to want to do the cabinets. I put all new floors in. There's laminated flooring in the living room. It was all through the house, but it didn't do too well. That little, it's like a paneling, like almost like plywood, but it's real thin. You put it underneath. I had put laminated flooring in, and it's supposed to be dog proof. And there's no carpet in this house.
What?
used to have dogs, and the carpet, when I bought it, it had the original carpet, and he had, I'm on the phone, he had his dog in, and he went to go clean the carpet, and it was burgundy, and it had like bleach spots. So, and like I said, that it was disgusting. It had to come out. I don't know,
I
new
get that all
owners,
the time. They tell me what's not there.
I know what I wanted to do, but I'm just ready to get out of St. Stephen.
Well, now, how soon are you hoping to get the house sold?
Try to move along quickly.
Like in the next 5 days, maybe.
Well, that I can do that quick. Are you going to be out of the house 5 days?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just me, and I have a handicapped daughter, and then I have my other daughter here, and she's got 4 little girls. So however, it'd take us to, I have a lot of antique furniture. So I mean, I can follow.
There's 6 people, so it's going to take a few minutes.
Right.
I've been down 30 days, on it for 30 days now. Have you foreclosure notice on your house?
I have court in January.
She had a what?
Court in January.
Okay.
Oh, you remember the date in January? I have to look that piece of paper up. It's like
Who's she talking to?
It's a team number, like one like 14th or something like that.
All right, so on the rears.
I mean, I painted it, but I mean, you know how new owners are; they want their own colors. I did like a mural in the kitchen. I have everything in my house is a horse. Not, it's all horses. But all my pictures are horses, and I mean that's my theme. So even cabinet doors and all is like Western knobs, and I even have I have an 18th century table set in a buffet. It takes a skeleton key. It's got 10 chairs, 2 captains. It's like an old Catholic table and buffet set. Is beautiful. It's so heavy. Right. And my girls would have to pick it up, take a few steps, and then put it down because it was just so heavy for us to move it. I'm willing to let that go. It priced at $17,000. I'm willing to take $12,000, $13,000 for it. It's beautiful.
The dinette. She's got a dinette with a 6-chair dinette with a hutch that's appraised for $17,000, but she's willing to take $13,000 from us. So I mean, that's kind of like what I was thinking about giving her for a place, but I didn't.
And she's trying to wheel and deal.
I had a dining room to sit with it too, but so yeah.
Let's sell the house and my dining set for probably more than the house is worth.
It's not big. It's too big for this house. So I mean, right now I don't have the leaf is on top, and it's just a small table.
Well, good luck with that. I'm not in the furniture business.
Good luck with that.
So now I'm trying to get off the call at this point. Okay, let's just go right to it. Okay, I'm not in the furniture business. Good luck with selling it.
Right.
Let's talk about how much you own now.
$33,000.
You said it was behind like $6,400. Is that included in the 33? Would it be the 33 plus 64?
I think if you pay this, I think it's included.
All right.
Let's see. I got that.
Right. So what is the monthly payment on the mortgage?
It's $400, but that's what I did. I bought this house, and then I screwed up, and I bought a Camaro like 2 months later, and it's like my car payment's like $500.
Gotcha. Do you know what your interest rate is?
So her car payment's more than the house payment?
It's a 3.5, I think.
All right, so I knew I had to, normally I don't ask these questions on the trios. I try not to, but in this case, I knew where we were headed eventually, so I just wanted to get it out of the way.
Sure.
So that's why I went for that. So what she said was, she got the house and was paying $400 a month. Well, then she got crazy and went and bought a Camaro that was $500 a month.
Oh, okay.
So she, overextended herself.
Right.
So now she probably can't pay for neither one. Or she might have the Camaro still. I'm not sure.
It's probably repossessed by now.
But I mean, I did put a brand new roof on it, and it had it came with a half a ton unit, and I took that out and put like a 3-ton.
Was there a loan on the roof too?
I hope not.
So when it's running, it sounds like it's raining outside.
Yeah.
But it doesn't run all day. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll tell you, just a little about what I do. First of all, we buy property like that all the time and get people out of foreclosure situation all the time. Now, when I buy your property, I'm going to take care of all the closing costs. Like, roof certification, like dock fees, even the title company buyer and sell closing costs, I'm going to take care of those. So there's no
Yeah, I only paid $2,000 for all that when I bought it, so my fees were like $2,000.
Okay. Well, see, when I got back from you to sell it again, so I paid 2 sets of fees, and I had to pay realtor fees when I sell it again. I have to pay home inspection to come and inspect it. Then I have to pay the remodel and get that done. So there's a lot of things involved besides just $2,000, I promise.
Yeah. I just bought the place in
I buy the house in what they call as is condition. I mean,
All right, so all right, I got to apologize for this. I felt like I was trying not to get her to talk at this point, right? I already heard her talk enough.
No, I get it.
Get through this and get to the number section, and so she's trying to tell me that it only costs everything. I swear I take care of all the fees. Well, that's only going to be $2,000. So I'm trying to explain to her, it's going to be a little bit more than $2,000 that I'm going to be invested into this deal.
Right.
So I'm trying to get that through her head at first, which perhaps I should have waited, but I just really needed to. I felt like I needed to.
Yeah, this is probably like a 30-minute call.
Yeah. I needed to get frame back. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did that. So here we go with this.
It means that you don't have to fix anything, and you don't have to give me a royalty on nothing. I'll take care of everything.
Well, it said it's praised right now at like a 160, 159. At least 90 if I could get that,
What was her number? I couldn't hear.
So at least 90 if I could get that. Okay. So now remember I went through this and I said, this is after I take care of your mortgage at 33. This is your free and clear money in closing. She says 90. So I write down 90. But listen, so this is why you really got to clarify whether they be 90 total or 91.
And this happens almost on every call. It seems like they never hear we're going to, after we take care of the mortgage, they never hear that statement. So a lot of times they get mixed up. But.
So I Paul's got
it's worth 160 and I only owe 30. So, and it wouldn't take you much to, put money in this, it's just like a trailer to me. It's like a boat. You're just digging a hole and, but you might have better luck. That's what I just what I feel, that's how I feel, but I don't know, it's like my husband buying a Baja. Yes, sir.
I got you. Yes, $9,000 the least you'd walk away with. I mean, keep in mind, I'm an investor now, and when I sell it, I'll be able to sell around there and see.
No, I was thinking like 90, and that's paying the 33 off. At least let me walk away like 60. I'm sorry, I should have explained that better. At least at least 60 or 70,000 maybe.
Okay.
At least 60,
If the total price is 90, they're paying off the mortgage 33, and you walk away with 57.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least 60. So that'd be 90. You still make a $70,000 profit, and that's doing nothing to it.
Why does everybody think they know how much profit we're going to make?
Stuff like that. We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. To replace the cabinet counter, we're going to have to pay. A lot of people want the horses.
Yeah, that's the original cabinets. Yeah, that's the original cabinets. Yeah.
So I'm going to have to spend some money on it. So let's see here. I think 60 to walk away with. That's the least you would take?
Yeah.
Okay. 60.
All right, so I won't play all the calls. So, but here's unless you think I should. I mean, I got 2 more to play. But here's the gist of it. So we were at 60, and then so when I called her back and talked to her about sub 2, that's the first thing I attacked was the sub 2. Right?
Okay.
And she's as soon as I started talking about it, she just goes off on a tangent about something else and something else and something else. So I say, and then my phone starts ringing. So I'm like, I'm just going to call you back. So I call her back. Well, in the meantime, I find out that she's got a family of squirrels. So when I call her back, she's telling me about she's outside and she's got a pet squirrels and that actually crawled all over everything. It's pretty cool.
Pet squirrels?
Yes.
Oh, I thought they were just living in the house.
They're her pets, and they do live in the house. So that's another thing that's kind of scary. So anyway, so when I called her back the third time, I said, "Here's what we're going to do." And I really took on the conversation. I said, "Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this mortgage and we're going to take the payments up. We're going to leave it in your name."
Right.
I gave her the spill on that. She said, "Okay, that's fine." And I said, "Now let's talk about this walkaway money." So I got her down to 50 instead of 60. And then I said, "Okay, so I can't do it all at once." I said, "How about, something else later?" We talked about that. And so she wanted 30. So I ended up getting it at 30 now and 20 at $400 a month.
Okay.
So we're paying the mortgage at $400 a month and paying her $400 a month. So that's $800 a month. And And I'm sure that we can owner finance it or rent it or whatever we end up doing for it for more than that.
What's the interest rate?
3.5%.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that sounds like we could possibly either do a cash deal on that. I mean, we could flip that if we wanted to, or we have terms also.
Right.
So we have options, which is great.
One thing that a lot of sellers don't understand, her being one of them, she said it appraised for 160. So a lot of people think that that's how much the house is worth, is 160, and that's it's so far from the truth.
Right.
So if an appraiser comes out to the house and appraises at 160, that's his opinion of the as-is value.
Right.
So if we fix it up, I really think it's possible we could get close to 190 on this.
Okay.
If we make it look right.
Sure.
But the only dilemma is it is in South Carolina, Amber's favorite state. You're welcome.
Right.
And it is in South Carolina, and so it is out in the country. So we might have a little hard time selling it. But
right.
So would you want to play the last part, or do you want to just go ahead?
If you want to, go ahead.
Let's see how this goes. Let me play the next one.
Hey, sorry I missed the call earlier.
Oh, that's okay, LaDonna. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. So we reviewed the deal here. Here's what we come up with. There's only one way I can get you the amount of money that you're wanting. First of all, the mortgage 33. So what we'll do is we'll buy that. We'll take over the mortgage payments. We'll keep paying those payments up until the time that we sell it. So at the time of closing, you won't have to worry about those payments after that. Okay.
Right.
So that's the first thing. Now, what that is, then our attorney will be drawing up those papers, and it'll give us the legal responsibility to continue to make those payments for you and to get it caught up. Now,
Right.
The thing about it is the original mortgage, which is in your name, LaDonna Blanchard, will stay in place, okay, even after closing. So the mortgage will remain in your name, but the property will be deeded to us. But we'll have legal documentation from an attorney that's approved in the state of South Carolina that gives us permission to do that.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. So is everything good with you so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the second thing is on the $50,000. Okay. So that's what you'll get at closing is $50,000. Now, we need to do that in a different way. So how about if we did something like a lump sum at closing and then the remainder at maybe a distant future date, or a lot of people choose monthly payments, kind of like an annuity. If we did it that way, how much would you need at closing? Like out of that 50, how much would you really need at closing?
30. How long, sorry, how many years would that payments be?
Well, that's the next question. So let's say we gave you 30 at closing and then 20, on a monthly basis. Okay. So now you got to keep in mind what our goal here is to make money, is to start cash flowing each month on this. So if we take over your mortgage, we'll already be paying $400 a month. All right. And now my new buyer is only going to be paying probably less than $1,000. So in order to cash flow, I need to keep you down pretty low. So what would be a good monthly payment for you each month? If I got you $30,000, so you get that in cash at closing, and then $20,000 at a certain amount a month. How much a month would you feel good about?
How many years?
Well, that would depend on how much you take a month. I mean, we could do that.
Everybody, pause it for a
How
second.
much money a month?
So I don't know why, but everybody is so concerned about the time of the monthly payments. And I always try to flip it back on them and say like, hey, well, let's just figure out how much makes sense for you every month. Like that's what we really need to find out, because
in hindsight, listen back to this, she came back and said 30,000. I should have started the process all over again and just paused and said, is that the least that you would take at close? I didn't do that.
Could have got it maybe a little bit
that. Maybe got it down a little bit lower on the first takeaway. But that's where we're at. Is
how much were the arrears on this?
6,400.
Okay.
So it's not a ton of arrears. That's why I'm not really. She got no money.
Right.
So I can't ask her to pay that.
Sure.
So here we go.
Would you feel comfortable with? I mean, knowing that I've got to pay your mortgage at $400, and I got to pay this note we're fixing to talk about, and then I got to, get my money from my new buyer too. So Tell me what do you think is fair on a monthly price?
I don't know. 4.
Okay, 4.
Oh, or what? I mean, like, that's, how many years is that going to take?
Let's see here. It's going to be 20,000 divided by 400 and divided by 12. That's only going to be a little bit over 4 years, 4.1 years.
All right. And how much? 400 times 12 is what?
400 times 12 is 4,800.
4,800. Okay.
Yes. So we'll give you 4,800 a year, or 400 a month, however you want to look at it, until the 20,000 is paid. So we're taking the 33, taking over the payments on that, giving you 30,000 at closing, and then giving you a promissory at 20,000 at 400 a month. So we'll get it all done. You'll be totally paid off a little bit over 4 years, and then hopefully by then we've already sold the house and everything will be smooth.
All right. Sounds good.
Now we need to close on this soon. So I think January. We said January the 7th is.
Okay, so there's really no more negotiation. It takes another 10 minutes to get her to understand that.
Yeah, so I think this she seems really motivated. So I think this probably leaves a little bit room for negotiation after the inspection.
Right.
And, we'll see what the ARV comes back as. But, maybe we can get the walkaway down a little bit, or maybe we can just drop the monthly payments. We've got options there, so that's good.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see. Because you're right. She mentioned the dog. She mentioned trim work and paint, and then some flooring and some room, kitchen cabinets. Now, get this. She said she painted. We didn't get to that part because that was the one part I skipped. But she painted the kitchen cabinets with spray paint. So I just picture these cabinets. I'm like, I think we got to tear them down for the cabinets. But so interesting to see what's going on. So what you got for us, Tyler?
All right. I've got one of the best deals that I've personally papered. I'm not going to play the entire triage because it's kind of long, but this is kind of a unique one. So this lady she inherited this house. It was her mom's house, and she lives. The house is in Kentucky. She lives in it. She's lived in it for a little while, but she's moving to Washington State, which obviously is a long way away, right? Yeah. It's interesting because she's just done with the house. Okay, she's not necessarily financially motivated, but she is just ready to move on. I think she's got another job or something in Washington she wants to go, and she's just she's been through a buyer or two already, and she doesn't need the money for anything, and she is just ready to get rid of this house. So it's interesting. I really don't say a whole lot on this call, but sometimes the best thing you can do, like you said, is just let them talk. Mm-hmm. And so she starts at a pretty high number, and she gets down pretty low. So we'll listen to it.
Yeah.
All right,
but
Carol.
there is nothing. No, it should be a clear title.
Okay. Well, let me tell you just a little bit about what we do. So we buy property like this all the time. And when we do buy property, we pay for all the closing costs. So, everything from the termite inspection, the roof certification, all the dock fees, it's a pretty long list. So when we do buy, we buy it in as-is condition, just like you share with me. That means a couple of things for you. There's no warranties, that you have to give me on the property. And secondly, we take care of all the repairs, so you don't have to be bothered with that. We can pay cash and close on the date of your choice. So, what are you needing to walk away with at closing? So this is after, we take care of, all the expenses, and all the repairs have been considered. This will be your check at closing. How much are you hoping to walk away with?
The only number I have is what the buyer was offering me was $80,000.
So she was saying the buyer before was offering her $80,000. So that's the first number she gave me.
Okay, and that was a sale price, I'm assuming?
That was the sale. Well, that was what we agreed to after he walked through the property and looked at it I threw a number out of 125 just because I wanted to start someplace, and we weren't going through the traditional realtor make an offer, counter offer, that kind of thing. I threw out a number, and he said, "Oh no," and then he went to 75, and I said, "Oh no," and then we came to 80.
So she told the first guy or the previous guy she started 125, and they played the game, which is why we don't make offers, right? Like we don't want to play that game. So she started him at 125, and I think they ended up at 80, but he didn't end up buying the house.
Yeah, and the thing about making that offer like he did too, like she started off at 125, so he turns around and makes an offer at 75.
Right.
So she already knows where he's at.
Right.
And so she goes back up to 80. So what if he didn't make the offer and he just kept asking her and she went to 50?
Right.
I mean, you never know where they might go.
Right. And I mean, this call literally proves, like, because I didn't make an offer, we got a really good deal. Yeah. So we'll listen.
Are you working with a realtor now?
No. Okay. No, he just yesterday decided, or last night, I found out that he wasn't going to go through with purchase.
I got you. Okay. 80,000.
So last night this deal ended. Yeah. So she's calling me, and this is in the morning. So she's ready to find a buyer and be done with this thing.
Yeah.
$80,000.
Yeah. And when that's not my, okay, that's what he was offering. When you asked a different question.
All right, so here we go. Why do we pause like that, Tyler? I don't understand. Why do you pause like that? So did y'all see what happened? I mean, you took the pause, and then, I mean, it was a long pause.
Yeah.
So the old saying is the first one that speaks loses. So first one that spoke was her. She immediately is telling you right now, okay, I'll take less than 80. However she says it, but that's what she's telling you.
Yeah.
So this is awesome.
That's what Brad tells us to do. Just pause or just say,
That's what he was offering.
Just let him talk. So
you asked a different question. You asked what I am willing to walk away with.
Right.
I am willing to walk away with 60,000.
60,000.
So she's wanting to walk away with 60,000.
So 125, right?
Right.
To 80.
Right.
To 60.
Right. We're not done yet.
Right.
Okay. Let's see.
Doing my calculator.
Can you tell me a little bit about the area? I mean, this is a little rural, right? I'm assuming.
Do
you have any close neighbors, or is it pretty spread out?
So I probably didn't do the best job of this, but I'm trying to create some doubt here a little bit. So, okay, hey, this is kind of rural. I'm not so sure if I can sell it. Like, tell me a little bit about the area. And at this point, I know this is a deal. Like, it's a home run deal at 60. The house is worth 285. So, I'm just trying to create a little doubt and see where she comes back.
No, we have neighbors on this road. It's where are you located in the country?
We're just south of Nashville.
Okay, so you probably have similar areas where you have a city and then you have progressively rural areas. We are not like in the middle of the nowhere. We are 8 miles outside of Irvine, Kentucky, which is a small town population, 2,000.
Yeah.
We are. Okay, and then in between that and the other side is Richmond, which is a larger UK, is the University
like I'm
of
not
Kentucky
looking at the map.
there. We're not isolated. We have neighbors on both sides. We have a fairly major north-south highway literally within walking distance down our road.
Mm-hmm.
Or across the street from the Hargett Fire Station, which is nice. We're not rural in the sense that we're not on a dead-end road. On a dead-end road, off the paved road, that's also a dead end.
Now, the street name on this is King Cemetery Road. I should have asked her if there was a cemetery nearby, looking back, but I didn't.
Oh, that's funny because, one time I bought a house and then she didn't mention the cemetery and I didn't look at the aerial view. But when we got a picture, there was like a tombstone in the background, like really close.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't even notice it, but Casey started doing the Google Street View. And she posted.
Yeah, Casey found the cemetery on this one. She's like, hey, is there a cemetery nearby?
That's also a dead end. Our road is dead end, but we're also not in the middle of nowhere.
Sure.
Not in the middle of nowhere, Tyler. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, considering that we can close pretty quick, and kind of get this taken care of for you, and we're going to pay all the closing costs. So we're, you're what we say you walk away with is what you walk away with. I mean, would you take any less than $60,000?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Wow. That was fast.
Yes.
So motivated seller, for sure.
I don't mean to sound desperate, but I just want to not have to deal with selling the property long distance and dealing with a realtor and having it sit here and degrade over time even more, just because there's houses, when there's no one in them, seem to fall apart faster than when they're occupied by people.
Sure.
I'm not comfortable trying to sell a home long distance from across the country.
Yeah, so that's interesting. That really scares a lot of people. Like, they do not want to leave a house vacant if they're moving away, which that's funny because we do this all the time, and we've got lots of vacant houses that we deal with. But like, an individual is moving to Washington State, does not want to have to take care of a house in Kentucky. And they're just scared to death that they'll have, it'll catch on fire or somebody will destroy it and, whatever. So.
Even though I wouldn't be doing it, obviously it would be a realtor, but I don't want to just have this hanging around out here forever and ever and trying to deal with paying for taxes and, whatever may happen to the home while I'm not residing in it.
Right.
Yes, I'm willing to take less.
Okay. I mean, what's kind of your bottom dollar where you can kind of walk away from this thing? We're a pretty reputable company. We've been doing this for 20 years. We're not like some of the other ones who back out all the time and, just play games. So,
and I don't mean to, because it was last night when I sent could you tell me the name of your company again?
Yeah, it's Fair Offer Cash Now.
Okay.
And we're out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you Google it, you probably won't find a whole lot. But if you Google Brad Smotherman, his name will come up. He's the owner, and he's got a great reputation. So. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. Literally, you were the first one that came up as a sponsored ad on Google, and I was like, I just need to do something, and
Sure.
This is what I did, and so you're calling, and that's great. In truth, if I got $25,000, it would be more than I had when I started.
No, she didn't. So 125, 80, 60, and then she immediately goes to
25.
20.
So she went down $100,000. I mean, with us, she started with 80, but with the previous buyer, she started at 125.
Please let me know how this comes out.
Okay.
And like I said, this money does not factor into the purchase of my home. Literally, it was going to allow me to buy a pretty refrigerator.
It's about $25,000 refrigerator for a new house. That's going to be a bad refrigerator.
Toward repairs of the new home. It's not going toward anything other than.
Sure. So 25 will help you kind of get moved out there and get settled and
Nope.
get what you need.
It wasn't even earmarked for that. Literally,
Okay.
It was just a happy accident. It is. I don't want to say it's immaterial because it is money, and I don't want to downgrade that it's money. It's just not earmarked for anything other than, this is nice, I'm going to stick it in a piggy bank with a 5% interest rate.
Sure.
And use it over the course of time to, I don't know, pay my taxes next year. Stuff like that. It's not meant for anything. So any amount is bigger than zero.
Sure. Okay. Well, hey, I really appreciate your honesty. And I think we're in the ballpark here, so I'm going to do a little research.
I think we're in the ballpark.
I think we might be. This might have been an opportunity for a one-call close. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It could have been.
Even though I don't believe it.
I called her back like 20 minutes later and papered it. But hey, I'm not going to play the rest. But
So you didn't call her back. You didn't get her papered at 25. She signed it.
So I called her back.
She approved it.
And I was like, all right, so if we could get you $25,000 cash, we'd pay all the closing costs. We can close. I think it was like 3 weeks. Would you sell me the house today? And she said, well, can we do 30? And I said, I think we can make that work. So
Gotcha.
she went
Sit at 30.
she had to, come back a little bit. So, hey, $5,000, I wasn't going to be like, no deal,
So have you got pictures yet?
Yeah, we've already bought this. It's on the MLS right now.
Oh, for real? We've already closed on it and everything?
Mhm.
Awesome, man. So what's it on the MLS for?
I don't remember the exact amount. I haven't looked at it in a while. But I think the ARV was like 285. So we bought it. I think it was, let's see, what's the numbers here?
And we've already done the rehab. Heard how much of a rehab though?
Yeah, it was like 40 rehab, something like that.
So see, that's the kind of deals you got out there, guys.
Yeah.
70. So you have about 70 in it, give or take, maybe 75
Mhm.
closing costs,
Right.
maybe 80 with 2 closing costs, and you got it for 250 to 285 for sale.
Right.
I mean, that's a home run.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
And
sure.
That's just a pay-per-click lead that you just happen to look up on.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best lead I've ever gotten. So definitely need more of those, which that was really interesting to me because I've never had anybody that was not financially motivated, but was super motivated to sell the house. So like I want more of those.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right. And so, what we've listened to out of those 2 calls is number one, we got terms on the first one. Right. But it was easy too. I mean, she was, yes. She
Right.
never questioned anything. And then with your person, it was strictly motivated with money. I mean, she really didn't care what she got.
Right.
I really think you could probably get it less if you kept on her.
Right.
And if you
I probably could have got some later on 30 or 25.
Yeah. So, that was a home run.
I wasn't
deal.
going to push it.
And so I think that's 2 really, really good examples of why sticking to the script gets you those deals.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And not making an offer for sure in your case.
Yeah. Like we said, we would, both of those calls, if we would have made offers, they would have stopped way higher than what we got them for. So,
Right. Exactly.
cool.